Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome to this program. First, let us pay our respectful obeisances to the Lord of the Universe, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. Jai Nityananda, Jai Gauranga. Vamandev ki Jai, Parshuram Bhagavan ki Jai, Panchatattva ki Jai. So the prayers, Om Ajnanati Virandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya, Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktaranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rāma 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 Hare Hare. So we are in the chapter number 1, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And today's verse is verse number 36. Pāpam evāśrayed asmān hatvaitān ātatāyinaḥ tasmān nārhā vayaṁ hantuṁ dhārtarāṣṭrān sa-bāndhavān sva-janaṁ hi kathaṁ hatvā sukhinaḥ syāma Mādhava. Translation: sin will overcome us if we slay such aggressors. Therefore, it is not proper for us to kill the sons of Dhṛtarāṣṭra and our friends. What should we gain, O Kṛṣṇa, husband of the goddess of fortune? And how could we be happy by killing our kinsmen? So this is a conversation happening between Arjuna and Kṛṣṇa. And Arjuna is in a chariot which is driven by Lord Kṛṣṇa, and upon his request, Kṛṣṇa has placed this chariot in midst of both the armies, and Arjuna sees that all his relatives are there, his fathers who are who are of same status as his father, his grandfathers, who are like equivalent of his sons, cousins, brothers, everybody is there. And he sees that and he becomes very compassionate and he starts to speak this. The objection that Arjuna is saying that if we kill all these people, it will be very sinful. And being the goddess of fortune's husband, how can you ask me to do this kind of an activity? There is a word that is being used here that's called ātatāyinaḥ. Ātatāyinaḥ means aggressors. As per Manu Smriti, there are 6 types of aggressors. That is a poison giver, and one who sets fire to the house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who plunders riches, and one who occupies another land, and one who kidnaps one's wife. So if you see each of the 6 types, they are called as aggressors. And as per this codes of the law of Manu Smriti, such aggressors are to be killed at once. And even if somebody kills them, there is no sin that is incurred because they are aggressors and they have done very offensive kind of a thing. So, but the thing is, Arjuna is not an ordinary person, right? He was very saintly by character. Why was he saintly? Because he was a devotee. And he wanted to deal with him like a saint. But then this kind of saintliness is not suitable for a kshatriya, right? So, there's a difference between saintliness and cowardliness. An administrator or a kshatriya is supposed to be saintly, rajarshi, that is good, but should not be cowardly at the same time. The best example we can see for this is Lord Ramachandra, right? Lord Ramachandra was a very saintly king, right? He used to give a lot of chances. He gave many chances to Ravana that, you better return Sita, then I will spare your life. But when something goes out of hands, then he will start to kill, right? For example, he completely vanquished the Ravana's army, his family, and Ravana. Completely, he finished all of them, right? Also, we see that when Surpanaka approaches Lord Ramachandra, he tells her nicely that, I don't want to be marrying you. Of course, in a joking fashion, he tells her, but then she tries to kill Sita. Then he is forced to order Lakshmana to give her a punishment to cut her nose. And then she brings her brothers, Khara and Dushana, who bring a large army to fight with Lord Ramachandra. When they are coming and fighting, a Kshatriya should not be a coward and run away, right? So what Arjuna is proposing is that he will literally run away from the battle and take up the profession of a beggar. So this is absolutely wrong. Just like Ramachandra, when he was challenged by that army of Khara and Dushana, he killed all of them single-handedly. So that is the character of a saintly king or a Kshatriya. That is how they must be dealt. So Arjuna was actually referring to Kṛṣṇa, right, as Mādhava, or the husband of the fortune, means Lakshmi Devi. See, Lakshmi Devi means fortune, goddess of fortune. Correct? Being goddess of fortune means it is expected that Kṛṣṇa will bring good fortune, being the husband of the goddess of fortune. But then the proposal that Kṛṣṇa is telling here is to kill all these people. If they were somebody like Arjuna did not know, or strangers who are coming and attacking them, and there were these 6 types of aggressors, that would not have been a problem for Arjuna. The problem is that they are his own kinsmen and relatives, right? Since they were kinsmen, if you kill your own kinsmen, that is also one kind of a sin, right? So he's thinking that this will cause a lot of misfortune. So he's saying, how can you bring misfortune to me, being the husband of the goddess of fortune? But Kṛṣṇa never brings misfortune to anybody, right? He always brings only good fortune. And what to talk about his devotees, he will always bring good fortune. So in this regard, when we said that 6 types of aggressors, we'll talk in a little bit of detail. A poison giver, somebody who gives a poison to kill. So somebody who gives poison to murder somebody. So can we try to think about an example which happened in Mahabharata? We discussed this. The example of Duryodhana giving poison food to Bhima. So Bhima was given a poison food, and once he becomes unconscious, he's being tied with a stone and thrown into a water body, where he will go sink to the bottom, and then he will meet the Nagas, and the snakes bite him, and it works as an anti-venom, and he talks to those people, and he gets power of 10,000 elephants and comes back safe by the mercy of Lord Kṛṣṇa. And one who sets fire to the house. So just imagine, we see this kind of incidents. It's called arsonery, right? So we see that when the family is sleeping, due to some political rivalry, due to some kind of bad feeling, ill feeling, due to some kind of agenda, due to some reasons, there will be some people, miscreants, who will come and set fire while sleeping. So in such a case, we see that all those people who are sleeping inside that hut or in that house, they will all die, because there will be no option for them to escape. By the time they realize that there is fire, there will be fire everywhere, and they will have to die. So this kind of aggression also was displayed by Kauravas. When did they do that? When Yudhishthira was being declared as the heir apparent of the kingdom of Hastinapura, at that time, Duryodhana had become very envious. So Duryodhana became so envious, and even Dhṛtarāṣṭra was starting to think that how can I give up this kingdom, right? So far, this kingdom belongs to Pandu, because see, originally Yudhishthira was supposed to become the king because he was the eldest. He was the elder brother. However, since he was born blind, the kingdom was given to Pandu Maharaj, who was his younger brother. And after having given the kingdom to Pandu Maharaj not only maintained that kingdom, but also developed it. He conquered a lot of places and he expanded the kingdom very much. So the kingdom rightfully belonged to Pandu Maharaj, and once it belongs to Pandu Maharaj, the next successor must be the sons of Pandu. That is the eldest son of Pandu. That is Yudhishthira. He is the heir apparent. Correct? So that is the reason why Yudhishthira, everybody knows the law, everybody knows dharma, even Dhṛtarāṣṭra knows that, and he had to declare upon the public pressure Yudhishthira as the next king. But Dhṛtarāṣṭra was also burning from inside, Duryodhana was burning from inside, so they made a plan. What is the plan that they did? They said they will send them to Varanavata, and we will send them to that Varanavata. That is one city, okay, where, there's a very beautifully decorated city, and we will send them to that place for some time, and we will construct a nice building which is made up of lac. So Duryodhana hatches this plan along with his minister Purochana, and he builds a very nice palace, very wonderful palace with first-class facilities. The thing is, all the ingredients which are used for building this palace are made up of ghee, oil, and majority with lac. Just like how we use plaster of Paris, right? They use lac everywhere to make interior design. So in such a way that if a fire is set, the whole building will burn in just a matter of few minutes, and there would be no way to escape. In such a way that the building has been designed, and they put so many cents to cover it up. And then they tell, Dhṛtarāṣṭra calls the Pandavas and says that, why don't you go there for a holiday? You can relax there and you can give charity to the people in that city. So the Pandavas, they know that there is something wrong and they are trying to hatch something, but without any option, they go there. And Vidura gives them a kind of a secret message. In a very cryptic message, he gives them that, be very careful and be careful about fire. So like that, he gives a message in a coded language, in a different language. And they take that cue. And afterwards, they're always alert, and they somehow escape with the help of Vidura's assistance. They escape, they dig a tunnel out of the palace to the forest. They stay for 1 year in Varanavata. So that's what happens. So you can imagine how much hatred that Kauravas had for Pandavas, and Pandavas were so helpless also, they could not run away from between, because if they run away, the spies will get to know and they will try to kill in some other way, right? So there's no possibility to run away. They cannot directly challenge also. If they directly challenge, it will become a different kind of a situation. So they had to go and they had to stay there. They had to undergo so much of tension, anxiety, and they had to finally escape with the help of Vidura. But now, so we are talking about this Bhagavad-gītā. So Bhagavad-gītā is the ultimate law book. It's a manual for all the human beings. And the speaker is Lord Kṛṣṇa. Lord Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So to tell about Supreme Personality of Godhead's compassion, so how does Supreme Personality of Godhead deal with somebody who gives poison to him? You can see that. So one day, when Lord Kṛṣṇa was a small boy, he was just very, very small boy in the house of Yashoda. Then King Kamsa, who was very envious of Lord Kṛṣṇa, who wanted to get him killed, sends Putana, right? And this Putana, what she does, she smears her breasts with poison, very dangerous poison. And Putana comes inside, and very beautifully she's dressed, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavana have no doubt about it. And then she grabs Kṛṣṇa and starts to give milk to Kṛṣṇa. And Kṛṣṇa sucked the very life air out of Putana. And what happened next? Putana was killed, no doubt. And afterwards, Putana was sent to the Golok of Vrindavana. So compassionate the Supreme Lord is. So there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which says, Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jigam chayapaya yadapya sadvi Libhe gatim dhātryuchitam tatonyam kam va dayalum sharanam vrajema. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon Putana, although she was unfaithful and she was prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. So this is the beautiful pastime that we got to hear today. And I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to speak. And so with that, I would like to conclude that let us all take the shelter of the supremely compassionate Lord Kṛṣṇa, who has given the highest position of a mother to even one who has come to give poison. But when it happens to his devotees, Kṛṣṇa does not forgive. Kṛṣṇa can forgive whatever happens to him. But when it happens to his devotees, when somebody tries to disturb his devotees, Kṛṣṇa does not forgive. So let us all try to take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make our life successful.